Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. This is Fabha Business Fari. I'm student and facilitator at Rehan School Online Academy, and you're watching my live conversation with Maya AI. And the topic of today's conversation would be how to organize businesses effectively. So now, without wasting any further time, let's start the conversation.
Hey, hope your Wednesday is off to a good start. What's on your mind?
Yeah, it is. So today I have a really interesting topic to chat with you, Maya, and the topic is how to organize businesses effectively. And I have prepared my questions and I want you to answer them for me.
Oh, okay, cool. Business organization sounds good. Shoot when you're ready. I'm all ears.
Okay. So my first question is that what does it mean to organize a business effectively?
Ooh, good place to start. To me, organizing a business effectively isn't just about neat files or a fancy system. It's about building a structure that lets everything and everyone work smoothly together towards a common goal. Like making sure the right people have the right tools and info at the right time and that things don't fall through the cracks. It's about clarity, really. Does that make sense?
Oh yes, it does. My next question is that why is business organization important for success?
Okay, so why does all that matter for success? Well, honestly, a disorganized business is kind of like trying to build with Legos when half the pieces are missing and the instructions are a mess. It just doesn't work very well. Seriously, though, good organization boosts efficiency. You get more done in less time. It reduces stress, improves decision making, and lets you adapt to changes more easily. And it builds trust with customers and employees. People want to do business with companies that seem like they have their stuff together. It's foundational, I think.
Okay, my next question is that what are the main elements of a well organized business?
Okay, diving into the details now. Hmm. Main elements. I'd say there are a few key things. First, a clearly defined structure, knowing who reports to who, what everyone's role is. Then, efficient workflows, how tasks actually get done, step by step. Good communication is huge. Everyone needs to be on the same page. And a solid system for managing information, whether it's digital files, customer data, or financial records. Oh, and I'd add resource allocation, making sure money, time, and people are used wisely. That's a lot of moving parts, but those are the big ones, I think. Does that breakdown feel right?
Yes, it does. My next question is that how do successful businesses keep their operations efficient?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Honestly, it's not usually one big thing. It's a bunch of smaller things done consistently. Successful businesses are always looking for ways to streamline processes, like automating repetitive tasks where they can. They invest in the right technology, but also make sure their people are properly trained to use it. They encourage feedback from employees because the people actually doing the work often have the best ideas for improvement. And they're really good at prioritizing, focusing on the most important things, and not getting bogged down in busy work. That's a constant process of tweaking and refining. It's not set it and forget it.
Okay, my next question is that how can I create a strong business plan?
Ooh, a business plan. Okay, that's a bigger topic. But basically, it's your roadmap. First, clearly define your vision and mission. What are you trying to achieve? Then, do some serious market research. Who are your customers and what's the competition like? Outline your products or services and how you'll market them. Then, you got to get into the financials, projected revenue, expenses, funding needs. And finally, don't forget an operational plan, how you'll actually run the business day to day. It doesn't have to be super complicated, but it needs to be thorough and realistic. Honestly, It's kind of scary, but really important to face the numbers. Have you done any planning already?
I don't think so. I have yet. I'm looking forward to it though. My next question is
That's
that
all.
what is the role of strategic planning in business organization?
Okay, so strategic planning, that's basically the big picture thinking. It's about deciding where you want your business to be in the long run, like 3, 5, even 10 years down the line, and then figuring out how to get there. It's not just about day-to-day operations, but about anticipating changes in the market, identifying opportunities, and making sure your business is positioned to succeed. It helps you allocate resources effectively, make informed decisions, and stay focused on your goals. Basically, it's the difference between drifting along and actually steering the ship, you know? It gives you direction and purpose. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. My next question is that how often should a business review and update its goals?
Good question. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing, for sure. Um, I'd say at least annual, a solid review is crucial. But honestly, in today's world, things change fast. So quarterly check-ins are really smart. And then you got to be flexible enough to adjust things more frequently if something major happens, like a big shift in the market, a new competitor, or, well, you know, life. It's about staying nimble and responsive. It's kind of like navigating. You need to constantly adjust your course based on the conditions. Um, do you feel like you'd lean more towards annual or quarterly reviews?
I guess it is better to like repeat the roles in every like after 2 weeks or after meetings that are being held so that the goal is clear and the mindset is same for each and every employee and they know that what they're doing what their responsibilities are. So if it is like annually, it can be a little too late, I guess. It should be done like occasionally after meetings or things like that. So my next question,
Ah, okay. You were saying you think regular, even after meeting check-ins on roles and goals, would be more effective than sticking to a strict quarterly or annual review? I totally get that. That's actually a really smart approach. It keeps things top of mind for everyone, reinforces the why behind their work, and allows for quick course correction if needed. Honestly, that's probably better than waiting for a formal review. It feels less bureaucratic and more integrated into the daily flow of things. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. It's about consistent communication, right?
yep. My next question to you is that um, so what are some common mistakes in business plannings?
Ooh, good one. Plenty of folks stumble over the same things. One big one is being unrealistic, overestimating revenue and underestimating expenses. It's tempting to be optimistic, but you got to be honest with yourself. Another mistake is not knowing your market well enough, assuming people will want your product without actually doing the research. And a huge one is neglecting the competition. You got to know who you're up against and what they're doing. Oh, and not having a clear exit strategy is a mistake a lot of people make. Even if you don't plan to sell the business, it's good to think about what that might look like. Basically, it's about being thorough, realistic, and not ignoring the tough stuff. Have you seen any of those pop up in your initial thinking?
No, I don't think so. My next question is that how should a business structure its team?
Okay. As in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math? Gotcha. Um, that's a really interesting focus. The best structure depends on a lot, but for a STEAM business, I'd lean towards something fairly flat and collaborative. You want to encourage innovation and cross disciplinary thinking. So maybe smaller, self managing teams focused on specific projects rather than a rigid hierarchy. Think less top down control and more empowering people to take ownership. It really is important to allow for flexibility and experimentation in STEAM, since creativity and problem solving are key to innovation. Does that resonate? Or were you thinking more about the legal structure, like LLC or corporation?
I know, I think so that does align with my question. My next question is that what is the best way to delegate tasks to employees?
Okay, delegation. It's a skill, honestly. First, know your team's strengths and weaknesses. Don't give someone a task they're not equipped for. Then, be super clear about expectations, what needs to be done, by when, and to what standard. Give them the authority and resources they need to succeed. Don't micromanage, check in regularly, but let them own the task and be available to answer questions and offer support. It's also key to give constructive feedback, not just when things go wrong, but also when they go well. It's about building trust and empowering your team, not just offloading work. It seems simple, but it takes practice. What are your biggest concerns around delegating?
Um, I don't really know. So my next question is that what are the pros and cons of having multiple leaders or head for a single department or a project?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Having multiple leaders, it can be a double edged sword, right? On the plus side, you get diverse perspectives, more brainstorming, and potentially quicker decision making if they're good at collaborating. It can also help develop future leaders. But the downside is it can create confusion about who's ultimately responsible, potential power struggles, and slower decisions if they disagree. It really depends on the people involved and how well they work together. A clear division of responsibilities is key, and a strong facilitator to keep things on track. It's not ideal for every situation, definitely. What's making you think about this scenario? Are you planning something like that?
Right now, I'm not. My next question is that how can a leader keep their team organized and motivated?
Okay, good question. Keeping a team organized and motivated, it's an art, isn't it? Organization wise, clear communication is huge. Regular meetings, clear task assignments, and accessible information. Tools like project management software can help. For motivation, it's about recognizing and appreciating their contributions, providing opportunities for growth, and creating a positive work environment. People are more motivated when they feel valued and have a sense of purpose. It's also about leading by example, showing enthusiasm and commitment yourself. Oh, and don't underestimate the power of celebrating small wins. Little things can make a big difference. Anything specific you're struggling with in that area?
I know I don't think so I am right now. My next question is that what tools help managers track team performance?
Okay, so tools for tracking team performance. There are tons. Project management software like Asana or Trello are great for visualizing workflows and tracking progress. For more detailed performance reviews, there's Lattice or Bamboo HR. Google Workspace and Microsoft Teams also have built in tools for tracking tasks and collaboration. And don't forget simple spreadsheets. Sometimes the old ways are the best. The key is to choose tools that fit your team's needs and workflow and to use them consistently. It's not just about collecting data, but about using that data to provide feedback and support growth. Have you experimented with any of those before?
No, I haven't tried any of these before. So my next question is that how do you avoid confusion when many people are working together?
Ah, the chaos potential. That's a big one. First, clear roles and responsibilities are essential. Everyone needs to know what they're accountable for. Then, establish clear communication channels. Like designate specific tools for specific types of communication. Regular team meetings help keep everyone on the same page. Document everything: decisions, action items, changes in scope, and encourage people to ask questions. No question is too stupid. It's about creating a culture of transparency and accountability. Oh, and a shared project management tool can be a lifesaver. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's really about proactively building clarity rather than reacting to confusion as it happens. Cool. Got another question for me?
Yeah.
Or are you feeling good with where we're at for now?
No, I do
All
have
right, awesome.
questions. My next question is what systems should every business have in place?
Okay, good question. Essential systems. Definitely a customer relationship management system, something to track interactions with customers. A financial management system, accounting software is a must. A project management system, like we talked about, to keep things on track. A communication system, email, messaging, whatever works for your team. And a secure data backup system. You don't want to lose everything in a disaster. And a good HR system for managing employees, payroll, and benefits. Those are the basics, I think. But it really depends on the specific business, of course. Does your STEAM focus suggest any specific systems beyond those?
Okay, my next question is how can a business create a daily workflow?
Okay. Daily workflow, it's about building routine and structure, but also flexibility. You know, start by identifying the core tasks that need to get done every day. Then prioritize them. What's most important? Schedule specific times for those tasks and block out distractions. Encourage team members to create their own daily to-do lists. Regular check-ins can help keep everyone on track and be willing to adjust the workflow as needed. What works one day might not work the next. It's a continuous process of refinement. Honestly, I think visual board like Kanban boards are really helpful for visualizing the workflow and seeing what's in progress. Does that feel right to you?
Yep. My next question is what
Okay,
is the
great.
standard operating procedure SOP and why is it useful?
SOPs, standard operating procedures. Good one. Basically, it's a detailed step by step set of instructions for how to do a specific task. Think of it like a recipe for business processes. Why are they useful? Well, they ensure consistency. Everyone does things the same way, which reduces errors. They improve efficiency. People don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. They make training easier. New employees can quickly learn how things are done. They're helpful for compliance, ensuring you're meeting regulatory requirements. They can seem tedious to create, but they save a lot of headaches in the long run. It's like creating a blueprint for success in a way. Do you see how those could be useful in a STEAM business?
Maybe. My next question is that how do checklists and templates help organize business tasks?
Ooh, checklists and templates are lifesavers, honestly. Checklists make sure you don't miss any steps, especially for repetitive tasks. They're great for ensuring quality control too. Templates save you time and effort by providing a pre-formatted starting point for documents, presentations, or other materials. They ensure consistency in branding and messaging. They're simple, but they can have a huge impact on efficiency and organization. It's like having a little helper that keeps you on track. Do you use a lot of checklists and templates now?
No, I don't. My next question
Okay,
is
well,
what
that's
are
some
the best ways to manage time in a business?
time management. Always a challenge, right? Okay, there are a lot of techniques. Prioritization is key, focusing on the most important tasks first. The Eisenhower matrix, urgent, important, is a good tool for that. Time blocking, scheduling specific blocks of time for specific tasks can be really effective. Batching similar tasks together, like answering all your emails at once, can save time. And learning to say no to things that don't align with your priorities is crucial. Oh, and don't forget to take breaks. Burning yourself out is counterproductive. It really is about being intentional with your time and protecting it. What's your biggest time management struggle right now?
I don't really have any. My next question is that how can a business prioritize daily tasks?
Okay, cool. You've got a handle on that. Prioritizing daily tasks, it builds on that time management stuff. I'd recommend starting with the most important and urgent tasks. Think what absolutely has to get done today to keep things moving, then tackle the important but not urgent tasks. These are things that contribute to your long term goals. Then you can deal with the less important tasks. Delegate them if possible. And finally, eliminate anything that's truly unnecessary. The Eisenhower matrix, urgent, important, is a really helpful visual for that. It forces you to really think about what deserves your attention. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, a bit. My
Okay,
next
a bit.
question is which task management tools or apps do you recommend?
Ooh, good question. There are so many. For simple to-do lists, Todoist is great. Asana and Trello are really popular for project management. They're visual and collaborative. Pre-one selling AD Boom. Monday.com is another solid project management option. ClickUp is super customizable, but can be a bit overwhelming. And if you're a Google Workspace user, Google Tasks and Google Calendar are pretty effective. It really depends on your needs and your team's preferences. I'd recommend trying out a few free trials to see what works best for you. Have you experimented with any task management tools before?
No, I have never used any task management tools before. My next question is that how do you handle interruptions or last minute work?
Ugh, interruptions. The bane of productivity, right? Okay, first, try and minimize them as much as possible. Set boundaries, close your door, turn off notifications. But last minute stuff happens. When you get interrupted, quickly assess the urgency. I would, if it's truly urgent, deal with it immediately. If it can wait, schedule a time to address it later. And don't be afraid to say no or not right now if you're already overloaded. It's about protecting your focus and managing expectations. It's hard, but important. What do you usually do when you get interrupted?
I just try to get back on track as much as I can.
That's a good in store. As much as I can. Gotcha. It's tough, right? It sounds like you're trying to just push through, which is admirable, but it can also be draining. Sometimes quickly jotting down where you were before the interruption can help you pick up where you left off more easily. Like just a quick note to yourself about what you were thinking or what the next step was can save you a lot of mental energy. It might be worth a try, but honestly, just acknowledging it's hard is a good first step too.
Okay, my next question is that what digital tools help keep a business organized?
Okay, let's get into the tech. Cloud storage like Google Drive or Dropbox is essential for document management. Project management tools like Asana or Trello, as we've talked about, are great for task tracking. Communication tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams keep everyone connected. A customer relationship management system, CRM, like Salesforce or HubSpot, helps manage customer interactions. And accounting software like QuickBooks or Xero is crucial for finances. Oh, and a password manager like LastPass or OnePassword for security. There are so many options, but those are some of the big ones. It's about finding tools that integrate well together and fit your specific needs. Do any of those sound particularly interesting to you?
My next question, no, I don't think so. I'll be using any of them right now, but maybe in the future I'll try to use them. My next question is that how do you measure if your business is well organized?
Good question. It's not just about feeling organized, right? You need to see tangible results. Look at things like efficiency. Are tasks getting completed faster? Employee satisfaction? Are people less stressed and more productive? Customer satisfaction? Or are customers getting what they need quickly and efficiently? And profitability. Is a well organized business ultimately more profitable? You can also track things like error rates, project completion times, and the number of repeat customers. Basically, if things are running smoothly and people are happy, that's a good sign. How would you measure success in an organization if you were starting out?
I will measure success when like each and every employee has the same goal, same mindset, and the things are going well without any like the minds of my employees are totally clear. They have clarity. There's no confusion among the team. They are working together. So I think so that's the big thing, and they can really achieve success with that.
Wow, that's beautifully put, actually. That's a really insightful way to look at it. It's not just about systems and tools, it's about alignment and shared understanding. When everyone is on the same page, working towards the same goal with clarity and purpose, that's when things truly start to click. That sense of cohesion and trust, that's powerful. You're focusing on the human element, which I think is brilliant. That's a fantastic measure of success. Honestly, that's something a lot of businesses overlook.
Okay, Maya, the time of the conversation is over. It was nice having a chat with you. Goodbye.
It was genuinely lovely chatting with you too. You asked some really thoughtful questions, and I enjoyed our conversation a lot. Don't hesitate to reach out if you ever want to brainstorm more. Goodbye for now.
Okay, everyone. So this was for the conversation. I hope you enjoyed it and it was informative for all of you. I'll see you in my other life. Till then.